Hello everyone, welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Noah. Noah is from Los Angeles in the USA. So let's see what Noah has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Noah, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
I'm a little busy. Had to do some running around, handled some business, got a haircut, but yeah, we're good now.
Amazing. You're very your haircut, very fresh and
Thank
tidy.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
So tell me where are you from, Noah?
I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Born and raised?
Yeah, actually.
So tell me, what was the biggest joy of growing up in Los Angeles in your experience?
Uh, Growing up, probably like the weather during the summer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
Tell me, what do you do for work, for living? Okay,
And I do photography and I do social media management.
I see. So walk me through a little bit more about your photography career.
Um, it's like a love-hate relationship. I've been doing it off and on for about like 6+ years.
Uh-huh.
Um, I do love photography. I just like the beauty that you find within photos, and there you could read a lot into a photo rather than a caption or a video clip. Um, I I was always touching base on like self-portraits and portraits and things like that, editorial work, but I never really, to be honest, as much as I have a passion for it, I never really dove into it as a profession. I dabbled in it. I wanted to try it, but I just didn't think that that was for me, to be honest.
Right.
So I did kind of segue into like videography, um, behind the scenes type of things, reels, media campaigning,
Mm-hmm.
like brand labeling, things like that.
I see. I see. I think it's amazing for you to be able to somehow explore, the photography area because it can go different directions for sure.
Definitely, yeah.
Amazing.
It's a vast industry for sure.
Amazing. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
Okay.
But before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Hmm. Um, Something interesting about myself. I don't know. I'm not really one to talk about myself in that aspect. But I guess interesting in the sense that I always find the silver lining in any situation.
Why is that?
I'm kind of like a glass half full type of guy. No matter how bad things can get, I always kind of see the brighter side of the day.
And you always been this way?
I will say have always been this way, but I do think being younger and a different mindset, um, I wasn't so willing to be so glass half full. You know what I mean? It was more of like at that time, because of immaturity and just being a child, it was more of like, let's be negative about it rather than seeing the positive side in situations.
I see. All right. Okay, Noah, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yeah, the best that I can.
Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question. Okay,
Yeah, sounds good.
let's do it. Okay, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, you don't want to talk about, always can change. Okay.
Perfect.
First question for you is: what three things do you want to be remembered for?
What three things do I want to be remembered for? Um, Well, always giving a helping hand to help someone else in whatever situation it may be. That is kind of how I am now. I'm kind of like give the shirt off my back type of person,
Mhm.
to help someone in need. I would also say probably that no matter what life brought to me, I always found a way to make gold out of it.
Right.
And thirdly, I would probably say I don't know. That's a hard one. Uh, I'm a people person, I guess you can say. It's easy for me to talk to people. It's easy for me to listen and talk to people rather than talk about myself.
Tell me something. What will be the title of your memoir?
The title of my memoir. um, the ride was bumpy, but we made it.
I like that, for sure. Next question. Let's do it. Noah from Los Angeles. Next question is, what's the most meaningful gift have ever received?
The most meaningful gift I've ever received. Um, I don't know where I received it from, but I will say that it's my willingness to always see the good in people, even when they don't see it in themselves.
And so far, what has been, tell me a life lesson that you've learned from people that you got close to your heart.
Um, that it's okay to let people get close to you, to see like the vulnerable side of you. That when you allow yourself to show that side, that, you know, good things happen.
And how did you get to this conclusion? How did you somehow that was taught you?
Um, I will say younger, I was very closed off about my emotions. Like I internalized a lot more rather than speaking on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that sometimes me being of a quiet nature, that it was misconstrued as abrasive, or I was angry, or I didn't want to speak to you, or something of that situation. But I did learn on my life that.
Cool. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me how photography came into your life, Noah.
I used to sketch a lot when I was a kid, and I used to do that a lot when I would go visit my grandmother and stuff because she always liked to doodle and things of that nature. And I don't know, it just was always interesting and fascinating, like what you can do with your creativity in that aspect and what you can bring to life on a piece of paper. And as I got older, I went, high school, things of that nature. I was on like the yearbook club, and I did like photography for sports and stuff like that here and there. Um, it was just kind of I guess, the candidness of the photos, the real photos in those moments where you would just see many different aspects of it, and it's open to interpretation and how you really truly view life as to how you're going to interpret a photo. So I did
Mm-hmm.
find that very interesting, and it I did kind of dive into it, just taking little photos here and there along the way. But the more I got into it, and like editing and raw photos and development and things like that, there's a creativity within the developing of a photo. It's not just the photo that you take. If you set a chemical off wrong a little bit, it can completely change the dynamic of the photo just by a tone or a shade. So I did like that a lot. And then I don't know, it just kind of always stuck with me. That's what kind of I feel like photography was the gateway and like the stepping stone into the other ventures that I've dabbled in and now kind of perceiving or pursuing.
I see. Next question is, where is the most exotic place have you ever been?
Um, Exotic, I wouldn't necessarily say that I've been to an exotic place.
Mhm.
But I have been to El Salvador, and not so much in the city, but more so like the hillside, the pueblos, the little small towns. I did like that a lot. Just I guess the simplicity of it and how they live and the happiness and joy that they have with it, just being content with that.
I see. Think that's which person in your life or in your family right now you feel more connected with or more close to?
Right now, I would say probably my sister. Um, she lives in Arizona. We don't talk very much or often, just, our schedules get in the way of it. But me and her have always had a relationship that we don't need to speak every day or text or call. We just kind of know or sense along the way that something's going on. So we always tend to reach out with one another, or we've always just been kind of honest with one another about our lives, and we don't hold judgment to one another at all in that aspect. We just really listen when we speak to each other, and we try to do the best that we can to give advice, or if not, lack thereof, just listen.
Okay, so your sister is watching this interview right now. When you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message, what would you say?
Oh, man. Um, Whether you believe it or not, um, everything you've ever told me carries weight, and it's definitely stuck in the back of my head with every decision that I made. So I appreciate that you're always the kick in my ass that I've needed.
Amazing. She's older or younger than you?
She's older. She's 10 years older than I am.
I see. And it's just two of you, or you have other siblings as well?
No, actually, there's four of us, me included. She is second to the oldest, and I'm the youngest.
Wow. Cool. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, next question is, this one is going to be very easy. If you could spend an entire day with a family member, who that would be and why?
My grandmother.
Tell me why.
She's no longer with us.
Hmm.
It's been several years. But I do feel that we always had a really strong connection, and even though our relationship was not long lived because I was younger when she died, I do feel that the time that I spent with her and the things that she shared with me and told me have always just stuck with me and have helped me along the way, through life and how I interpret things or take things. I try to put my best foot forward, even though I may not have always made the best decisions. That's part of life though. But she is one person that I wish, and I say to this day, that I wish was still alive.
Wow. Do you think one day you're going to meet her again?
Actually, funny story is, I kind of did in a dream,
Hmm.
like when I was older, way older. It was probably on the anniversary of her death.
Wow.
And yeah, she just kind of came to me in a dream. And at first, I just thought it was like a weird dream, like no big deal. Dreams happen, especially when your mind runs wild. Uh, but as I woke up in the morning, I went to tell my mother about it. And I was describing the dream. And in the dream, actually, my crazy as it sounds, my grandmother introduced me to somebody in the dream.
Wow.
And I never really met this person before ever and didn't know who there was. Couldn't really make out their face, but saw their figure and what they were wearing and a name tag, like from an old mechanic's uniform. And when I was telling my mother about it, she was saying, she kind of got quiet a little bit and she was just like, "That's my brother."
Wow. I got
She's like,
goosebumps.
yeah, crazy. None of us, my siblings, have ever met him. They were probably in their early 20s, maybe teens when he died. And when he died in his mechanic's uniform. And so
Wow.
when I was explaining it to her, she was like, "Yeah, grandma introduced you to your uncle." So it was kind of like a little crazy moment in a sense, but it was it was nice.
Wow, what a moment, Noah. And I think it just made you remember a situation now. I sometimes, it happens, sometimes I dream with my grandfather who passed away, and also my grandmother as well. And for some reason, when I wake up in the morning, I feel very peaceful. I think they've
Mm.
been here for some reason. I think they just came to say hello or to see how I am doing or something about it. And I think it's so interesting. And back to your story, I think somehow they just come to check on us to see how we are and to connect with us a little bit more. I agree.
Definitely, yes. I do believe that. Only because my grandma used to make pineapple upside down cake, and it would fill her house with it, and just the aroma. And I can be out in the middle of nowhere, and there's no way in hell that I would be smelling that smell. And I smell it. I'll get a whiff of it here and there, and I know she's near or something, just watching.
That's amazing. Great.
Yeah.
Next question. Let's do it. Next question is, what's your favorite place in the entire world and why?
My favorite place in the entire world. I don't necessarily I can say my favorite place in the entire world because there's still a lot of the world I've yet to see. Um, but I will say any place I can visit that allows me to slow my mind down to truly enjoy what's in front of me, to unplug in a sense and just embrace the moment.
What's the
But
biggest joy? Yep, carry
no,
on.
no, go ahead.
Sure, carry on. But
I was gonna say, but one of the nicest places that I've been to, and I really enjoy going to, is Vancouver in Canada. It's a nice area, so I do like it out there.
saying that, what's the biggest joy of being Noah? What do you like the most about being you?
Um, I'm willing to be spontaneous and do maybe out of the box certain things that I would never really try. Stepping outside of my comfort zone. That's kind of like what has made me fall in love with myself these past 2 years is the fact that I have pushed myself outside of my comfort zone a lot, and
Hmm.
I have enjoyed life so much more in that aspect because I am breaking out of my normal habits and I'm experiencing different things with friends and some things that I would have never even thought I would do. But that's the part of life. You got to take a chance.
Totally. Tell me something. You know, live in Los Angeles. Do you think that it's a place that is easy to connect with people? Is easy to, those big cities where everyone is busy with their own lives, or do you find a way still to connect with people somehow?
I would say in LA just because LA, everyone says everyone comes out to LA to try to make it in a sense in whatever they want to do. So I do feel that there are so many different ventures and venues out here that it does allow you to interact with different demographics and different types of people and different situations to where without even really knowing it, you're experiencing different people.
Hmm.
I will also say that LA can be a little rough around the edges. They Some of us LA people can be a little too harsh. But I will say that, that is LA. It's a very busy, crazy city, and sometimes it's a little cutthroat out here, which can be a little unwarranted.
I see. Next question. Let's do it. Like dancing,
Do I like dancing? Um, I do actually. I do enjoy dancing. Uh, I
not in
can
front
be a little. I'm sorry.
not in front of the camera.
No, not in front of the camera. I do enjoy dancing. Yes. Am I shy? Definitely. So it takes one or two drinks, maybe three, to get me feeling a little relaxed. But I mean, once I'm there, I'm there. I'm having fun. At that point, I'm just like enjoying the music because I do enjoy music a lot.
What's your star sign astrology?
I am a Cancer.
Yes, sir. Right. Next question is, what's the worst first date have you ever been on?
I guess I could say this one. I wouldn't necessarily say it was like the worst date I've been on, but I will say I have been on a date where maybe someone just had too much nerves and they maybe drank a little too much and ended up on me, like projectiling vomiting on me. That was maybe the worst of the situation, but it definitely wasn't pleasant.
One person to go on a date with you, what this person must have? What's something about the person that somehow you feel connect with?
I know this might sound a little like simple, but being direct.
Mm,
If you can come across in a respectable, direct way and maybe pick up a conversation beforehand, that might spark my interest. Um, but I will say, yeah, you gotta maybe not beat around the bush in a sense, because I will say I'm kind of oblivious to certain things sometimes. So I may not even know that you're hitting on me, or I may not even know that you're trying to flirt with me, or trying to get my number. I'll just kind of brush it off as a conversation because I am a friendly person, so I'll have a conversation with people. So I prefer a little directness. If you can be a little direct with me and not be intimidated in the sense to be so direct, like that is going to kind of maybe make my eyebrow lift a little bit and be like, oh, okay, maybe.
I see. Okay, 3 questions left. Let's do it. Next question is, if you could stay any age for the rest of your life, what age would that be and why?
Honestly, I had a lot of fun years. Um, I'd say maybe if I had to choose, maybe 30, 31.
Okay.
Just because it was a good 2 years. It was just fun. But in all honesty, I kind of look forward to getting older in a sense because I just feel that the older we get, we just develop into a person that we may not have ever thought that we could become in a positive way. And, you know, nothing wrong with a little wisdom.
Aging for you is something that bothers you or you just see as a matter of life?
I do see it as a matter of life. However, you know, as we get older, our body just kind of slows down in a sense and doesn't recuperate in any aspect like we used to. So I would probably say that it's a love hate for real, like getting older for me, because I'm all for it for the growth, but I just don't want to deal with the aches and pains along the way.
What's the meaning of life for you, Noah?
Um, I would say happiness
Mm-hmm.
because happiness comes in so many different forms. And again, tracking back to we control our happiness. If we can just be happy with who we are as a person, it really doesn't matter what comes along our way. We'll always tend to see the brighter side of it and enjoy the moments in those endeavors rather than sitting back and focusing on the ins and outs of what could have been something disastrous.
I agree. Good. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Next question is, how do you make friends?
Honestly, I make friends quite easily. Um, it doesn't take much for me to like be able to like have a conversation with somebody and kind of just get along with them. I can get along with so many different types of people. I think that just speaks on my personality because I genuinely do find meeting people interesting. Like my favorite thing is people watching. I love to sit back and wherever I'm at, honestly, and just kind of watch everybody's interactions.
Do you feel like you have lived your best life right now, Noah?
Yeah, um, I feel like I feel like this past 2 years, has been very eye-opening and insightful. And it's definitely changed my mindset on a lot of things. So I will say that, yeah, I'm probably at the happiest I've ever been.
And why you say that those 2 years somehow you got more aware about your life, about things around you? Why is that?
Um, Not to touch too much on it, but seasons change. People come and go. Um, we'll just leave it at that.
I can see in your eyes. I can see in your eyes.
Yeah, they we'll just leave it at that. It was a life lesson that definitely needed to be learned,
Totally.
for sure.
And I think sometimes when you are going through situations, you don't see the message. You just realize in a while how things are, more
Right.
clear and more understanding. That's how I see as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you.
Last question. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last one. But before the last question, tell me a moment in your career as a photographer that you're never gonna forget. That for one reason or another, always gonna, have a special place in your memory.
Um, I got to do a set shoot and like their concert photos for a band like way back in the day that had an anniversary like decades later, and it's called The Sounds. So I got to actually go to the show, take all the photography photos and things like that. So that was pretty cool.
Okay. Last question is, what does family mean to you?
Family to me means family to me means life lessons.
Mhm.
Because, for lack of a better term, your family tends to push your buttons the most because they're the ones who put them there in the place.
Wow, powerful. Okay, so then yet, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay,
All right,
let's start. Money,
success,
fear,
sad,
family,
love,
life,
hard,
love,
trust,
okay. Religion,
sticky,
sex,
fun,
politics,
uh, devil's advocate,
friendship,
family,
desire,
desire, goals,
regret,
indifferent,
success,
accomplishment,
wish,
want,
happiness.
peaceful.
One word for Los Angeles.
Oh my God, people are going to hate me. Chaotic.
Okay. USA, one word.
Adventure.
And the last one now, photography, one word.
Doorway.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your sister, the one you mentioned during the interview for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, define Noah in one positive and one negative word only. What should you say?
Positive would be my caring nature. Negative, stubborn.
Amazing. Let's play now, Noah, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Hey, Noah, you can ask me a question now.
What was a pivotal moment in your life where you felt that nothing good can come of anything? And what was it in that time that helped change your mindset?
Wow, great question, great question. Wow, I think I had some moments, many moments in my life when I thought that, and I felt, sad, I didn't find a way out. There's so many moments that when I look back, I was like, wow, I'm grateful for those moments because I've learned something out of it. The first thing that comes to my mind now, I realized through my life that there was a moment that in the end of the day, you just need, it's all about you. You know what I mean? You have support of people, family, but if it doesn't come from you, you are the person that nothing can, you cannot do anything if you might put your minds together, if you kind of somehow realize that. I had moments that I thought that I maybe I need some support, or maybe I need to talk to my family, maybe I need someone to be around me to kind of somehow push me. But I realized that it doesn't work like that. If it doesn't come from you, at the end of the day, it's you who is guiding your ship. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
if
this is true.
so that was the moment for me that realized that whatever happened to you, whatever happened, things around you, decisions you make, everything is gonna, it's you who's gonna pick yourself up and you're gonna push yourself forward. So I think that was a pivotal moment for me that whatever happened to you, you need to take responsibility. You need to, of course, you need support, you need people around you, in different aspects of your life. However, it's down to you for you to somehow keep going and guiding your ship. So that's how one of the pivotal moments for my life, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you enjoy the interview?
I did, yes.
Thanks again, Noah, for taking the time for the interview. Thanks for being so open, yeah, and talk about your experience. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
That you deserve love, even the you're trying to outgrow.
Wow, simple as that.
Simple. Looking
Thanks so
forward
much.
to it.
Regards to your family and friends, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay,
Likewise, thank you.
take care. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.